All right.
That's key.
Here we go again with another all right, but back again for another.
Six all right in a row.
Yeah, seriously. I guess that's my thing now, but back again, episode 6, week 3, college guys talking ball. If y'all haven't heard us yet, or if you've heard us before, welcome back. Welcome in. If you're new,
Welcome
I'm
in.
I'm Ethan Cole, with my boy TJ French, and we're here to give you the lowdown today. We have a packed show. We actually have an NBA preview, and then we'll do our usual thing with football and baseball, man. But TJ, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so what I've got is, of course, so the Nets in their opener, they disappoint. The Pelicans beat them by 20, but Zion is back. I think we forgot how dominant this guy can
Zion.
be when he's healthy. He missed all of last season with an injury. He's back this season. Hopefully he can stay healthy because he is dominant. We got the Phillies and Padres looking to be an all-time series for sure. That's tied up 1-1. They play game 3 tomorrow, headed to Philadelphia. We've
Yeah,
also
man.
got some of the teams that we think need to win this week in the NFL to stay above 500. So very important week for some of these NFL teams.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As we get into the thick of the season, man, with all these sports, these episodes will just get better and the games will just get better.
Mm.
I agree, TJ. Great take. You know what? Today, like I said, with all the sports, we're actually in the midst of the 26th ever sports equinox. Now, that's the
Yeah.
MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL all having games on the same day. 4 major sports here in the United States. So we're recording before we get to watch some of these games, but
Yeah,
it's going to be a great day in sports, man.
I'm sporting it behind me. There's about to be a puck drop on the NHL network.
Let's go. Let's go.
All
Let's
right, so
go.
let's get into, like we've said, last video, we are going to talk some hoops here. So let's get into a little NBA preview here.
Let's get into some hoops, man.
Let's start with our conference finals predictions.
Yeah,
Ethan,
yeah,
Eastern
yeah.
Conference Finals. What do you think?
Well, I'm an Atlanta guy, as you guys probably already know. So don't hate me for this, but I'm going Hawks versus the Milwaukee Bucks, a rematch of the 2021-22 season Eastern Conference Finals. This will be a rematch for the second time in 3 years. Obviously, these matchups are super hard to predict. Just keep that in mind as me and TJ go down this list with the
Yeah,
NBA, because the seeds, there's so many teams that make the playoffs. They may match up earlier. So
it's hard. It's
when you
hard.
bring out the receipts, just remember that. But if I were to pick my 2 favorites, obviously the Bucks are a favorite, a huge favorite. 2021-22 actually NBA Finals champions. So they're obviously a favorite in the East, but I'll go with the Hawks here as kind of a out of left field. Not for me and you, of course, are Hawks
Yeah,
fans, but we're a little out of left field. People are kind of having us between the 5 and 8 range again.
it's not
I don't
bad.
I don't know where we'll
Take
be
that.
at, but I do think that we advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. We've already made the finals with the core of Trey, JC, John Collins, Capella, Clint Capella, and DeAndre Hunter. We only got better with the addition of DeJounte Murray, man. He had a great game last night. You had 4 guys with 20
A
plus
lot of
points
dunks.
in game 1. So y'all may hate me for this, but I got Hawks, Bucks, Eastern Conference
Yeah,
Finals. Hopefully the Hawks can do it.
dude. Yeah, man. We saw some great dunks from DeJounte last night. It was great, as both Hawks fans. And although I can totally see the Hawks returning for the second time in 3 years to face the Bucks, I'll stick safe for now, just for the prediction aspect of it. I'll say
Ah,
Bucks. I'll say Bucks versus Celtics. I'll say it over and over and over. Giannis is without a doubt one of my favorite players to watch, and he's
yeah,
without a doubt
absolutely.
one of the most dominant players in this game. And if we actually do start talking hoops a lot, you'll definitely hear me mention him. I think he's definitely going to be the catalyst as to why they get there. They should get there, no problem. Honestly, they have Giannis,
Yeah,
but
I
you
agree.
never know. I've also got the Celtics here just because they have too much depth, too much star power. Tatum, Brown, Smart, Grant Williams is pretty good. They have a good roster.
They got coaching problems right now though. So
And I think the Nets will sell. I think the 76ers will sell. I don't think the Heat have enough, you know. So I think the Bucks and Celtics are going to be the picks here for me.
okay. Okay. Well, I mean, we agree on
And
Milwaukee.
I'll just go ahead and say it publicly. Like, I want the Hawks.
Yes.
I love watching the Hawks. I love seeing John Collins lead the team in scoring in the first game because I'm a huge doubter of John
Of
Collins.
Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, but That's
Yeah,
that.
that's a good take, man. So sorry, I was looking at my phone. I was just locking in
All
actually
right.
one of my
Yeah.
props for later tonight. Let's go Western Conference here. I'll let TJ. You do
Okay.
the
Yeah.
honors. You
Yeah.
go
I'll
first.
start. So I'm gonna go Warriors versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Um, saying the Timberwolves, that's kind of going on a limb, but I think Karl Anthony Towns is electric.
I
Anthony
agree.
Edwards is only going to get better, going to the rim. And D'Angelo Russell's playmaking ability should lead this team to at least the playoffs. And then I'm just going to go and say it, they make a few advancements.
Okay.
And I think the Warriors are kind of the lock here because, I mean, what have they made it like 8 of the last 10 years? I mean, they make it.
They make it
If
about every time.
if
Yeah, about every
Curry
year.
if Curry and Clay, are healthy, they should be in the Western Conference Finals. I think no doubt. Then you add Green, Poole, all these guys that the Warriors have. They should. I mean, they
Okay,
should be
so
in the Western Conference Finals.
real quick, before I say mine, I gotta ask you though, the T Wolves, you think they're a better suited playoff team than a team like the Suns or a Lakers team with LeBron
Well,
or
the
the
Lakers.
Nuggets or the Clippers or like there's several the West
I'm
is
just
tough, but
the West is tough. I'm just saying that these other teams aren't like that stable in the playoffs. Like, all these teams aren't used to winning like the Warriors
like the
are.
Warriors
So the Timberwolves, you kind of have a little, not a Cinderella, but a little bit, of magic. You have two magical series and you're in,
and you're in.
so
I guess like the way you put it though, there is that it's Warriors, which I agree with,
yeah. And
and
then
then
whoever you want to fill
it's
it
a
in.
pick 'em, and I'll fill it in. I'll go Clippers Warriors. I agree with literally everything TJ said. You can't. Maybe they don't make it, but you certainly can't pick against them to make it to at least the conference finals, barring injury. Great coach, great organization, superstar players, future Hall of Famers everywhere. And I'll say the Clippers match up with them because you're looking at a team that is getting Kawhi Leonard back, that is getting a John Wall, which I
Yeah.
know I forgot a little bit, but you look back, John Wall, man, he's a heck of a
He's
basketball player, and he's had a
he's got to
great
stay
career.
healthy though.
He's got to stay healthy. If he stays healthy,
Same
I'm just
thing with
saying,
Kawhi. I
if
mean,
he's
we're
if
making
they stay healthy, that this is my prediction. Um, and you already have Paul George. You also have Tyronn Lue, who's established himself as, like I said, either a
yeah.
top 5, at worst, top 10 coach in the NBA. And as I'll speak on later, Tyronn Lue's got a little experience with the Warriors, so that could be a good
Yeah.
series.
And Kendrick Perkins earlier today said, how I told you, he said the Clippers were going to make
Yep.
it. He, kind of gave it to the fact they have Ty Lue
Yep.
as their coach.
He's a great coach. I mean that 3-1 comeback is
It's insane.
it's
Yeah,
you have to give him some credit for it too, and he's had some great teams.
you do, but we know who is playing in that series.
Okay, cool.
It was
Well,
LeBron.
then who we got moving on from these conference final series, TJ?
Yeah, so I'll go a Warriors Bucks finals. I mean, I
Okay.
think the Warriors are. I think the Warriors are going to repeat. Um, and yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. I'm a Warriors fan a little bit.
Yeah, just go ahead and pick the two favorites, man. Why
I mean,
don't you?
they are back. Yeah, the most playmakers in the Western Conference, and a guy named Steph Curry who, when he's healthy, he doesn't lose very much, and he's also a top 10 player of all time. We've got Warriors repeating here. Also, I'm not actually a Warriors fan. Just
It's
put
kind of a
that out there.
it's kind of a joke, kind of not once we get around playoff time.
Yeah.
So, okay. I mean, like I said, you did pick the two favorites, but that obviously they're favorites for a reason. So
Yeah.
that could
It's
happen. I'll agree with you on the East side as much as I want Atlanta to go to the finals. From my prediction, I think Giannis is too much. They
so
have
the
too much
Bucks knock
pedigree.
them off again.
The Bucks knock them off again. They have too much pedigree. They've already beaten us. Budenholzer just hates the Hawks. The Bucks move on, but they do not play Golden State. They actually play the LA Clippers. And as I referred to Tyronn Lue earlier, I'll refer to him again. The 3-1 comeback, he has experience beating the Warriors. I don't think that Tyronn Lue will fear the Warriors, and his game plan will reflect that. Like I said, you still have PG-13 run around then. You have Kawhi, who people were literally saying was a top 3 player in the world before
Yeah.
he got hurt, and John Wall, who's an athletic freak, along with guys like Reggie Jackson and the rest of their bench that can really play.
Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard can play. I think one of the Morris twins is on the team. I know
Yeah.
that sounds bad, but one of the Morris twins, not sure which, is on that
I
team.
think
He's
it's
great.
Marcus,
I
dude.
think it's Marcus too. I
I
think
don't
it's
think.
Marcus too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put myself on too much of a limb right there. But yeah, so I've got Bucks Clippers. And who do we have winning that? I guess I will go ahead and say that the LA Clippers win the NBA title this year. Who is your
Carry
NBA champion?
carry on. Carry on.
Carry on. That's what Kendrick said. Yeah.
I said Warriors repeat.
Warriors repeat. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. So we
All
got
right. So
Warriors and we got Clippers, our winners in
yeah.
the West. All right.
So let's touch on let's some awards here. Let's just touch real quick on the
Okay.
rookie of the year.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I think we got the same guy here, Paolo Banchero. His
Banchero.
athleticism is unmatched, and we watched this guy play a lot at Duke. He's the real deal.
He's insane.
What do you think about him?
I agree with you. I actually probably would have said Chet Holmgren if he was still healthy. You saw what he was doing in the summer league, and he's just a great player. But I'll go Banchero too. You never really know with rookie of the year, but if I had to pick, I'm going to pick the guy that was 11 of 18 from the field with 27, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and I think that's 2 blocks. Yeah, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. My bad. And he's absolutely the feature in Orlando's offense. Although the Magic are probably absolutely gonna suck. I think that Banchero has an opportunity to go get his every night, and with the lack of talent they have, they're gonna say Paolo.
Yeah, do everything.
He's like a reliever that's got to go get outs, man. Sorry, Paolo, you're gonna have to do it all for us right now. So for that reason, I say he's the rookie of the year.
And I'll say one thing that kind of I think sets him apart is since he played so much in the summer league and then he played so much in the preseason, you already see him getting, regular season time. I think that experience will pay off. And
absolutely,
rookie of the year is usually like,
the best
you don't
stats.
need
the best stats.
It's just the best stats. So, he should have the best stats.
And it was 2 blocks. I just confirmed. So
yeah, 2 blocks.
Perfect. Man, well, I guess we agree right there, but what about most improved, man?
You want me to go here?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was looking at the odds, I guess earlier yesterday, and I saw Zion Williamson was on it for most improved player. I mean, come on. I just wanted everyone to know in 61 games as a rookie, he averaged 27 points on 61% from the field.
That.
And he doesn't really shoot that much. He's, really a paint presence, but if he posts anywhere near those numbers, he should have he should win this award pretty easily. And so I guess the most improved player in basketball is also comeback player of the year. I guess.
It's basically the same award.
I was looking at the odds and I was like, I mean, Zion, coming, most improved. That's already incredible.
From nothing.
Number. Yeah. But I'll go him here. So.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's a great pick right there. I saw him on there. I saw Anthony Edwards as well. You saw some other guys.
Edwards.
I wanted to dig a little deeper on this one, so I looked a little further down the odds. I got a guy at plus 4,200. That would be literally $10 to win 420.
Yeah,
We've got Colin. We call him in Atlanta the young bull Sexton for most improved player. I know this one's, like I said earlier, a little bit out of left field, but I've watched this guy absolutely ball since his high school days. I used to watch his young bull documentaries. Shout out Brandon, shout out the boys. We used to watch his documentaries when we were in high school. And then he got to Alabama. You saw him do what it took to be a lottery pick. He actually, remember when he faced Minnesota 3-on-5, dude, and they still were in the game. This dude obviously has some game, can go get buckets. You saw last night he had 20 points in game 1. I think the move to Utah does his game some justice, and I think that he has an outside chance at this award. If I had to make a pick, I'd probably agree with your Zion take, but for purposes of I'm gonna dig a little deeper and find a guy that I want to attach myself to, I'm going with the young bull, Colin Sexton. Player.
I think moving to Utah for sure should help.
Well, he's kind of like Banchero in a way where you can go get a little more offense.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Right.
Well, MVP, the one everybody wants to know.
This is one everyone wants to know. Do you want to go first?
I mean, just how I'll ask you. I'll let you go first, but I'll ask you and I'll let you answer. How obvious is your pick right here?
It's obvious, but I don't think it's as obvious as, people may think. I'm not sure. Is he the betting favorite?
I
should be.
I actually didn't. Right? I didn't look at odds for this. I wanted to just pick a guy. I'll definitely go look though when we're done.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think it's probably Giannis or Embiid.
Okay. Well, who is
So,
it then?
oh, well, this is my pick. I'm gonna go Jokic because screw it. I mean, why not? This guy's a regular season machine, and no one can guard him in the league. Um, I think he joins elite company. Uh, joining Bill Russell, RIP, Will Chamberlain, and Larry Bird as only players to win 3
Yeah.
consecutive
Okay.
MVP awards. So the Joker, count him in for that.
This would be two get that, right? This
Yeah,
would
so
be 4-3. Okay.
this will be his third
Okay.
in a row. And yeah, like I said, I don't think this is much of a, I guess not long shot, but long shot as people would think. I mean, all he did last year was average 27, 11, and 14. I mean, those numbers are incredible. If he posts anything close to that, he should win it again, bearing, Giannis having one of his MVP type seasons or Joel Embiid continuing to, step his game up, which I don't even know if that's even possible.
Well, I
But
mean,
yeah, I've got the Joker here. 3 in a
okay. Well,
row.
well,
Give it to me.
I mean, it's Jokic either wins it if Giannis or Embiid doesn't step up. But what about the unanimous MVP
Dude,
and my
7 years
pick
ago,
for
the unanimous
twenty-two
MVP
twenty
7 years
three
ago.
NBA MVP, Chef, look at Curry, man.
Curry.
Curry with his first MVP award since his unanimous MVP in 2015, 2016. I know he's definitely not one of the favorites just because of his age and the way that they play. But I think he showed you in game one, which is what I'm really basing my pick off of, obviously, and his career. He scored 33 in game one. If he could continue to average, I'm not going to say he's going to average 30, but 27, 28, and he can still dish the rock around, you're going to look at a guy. Oh my gosh. Steph's got a 29 and a half a game points. He's got 7, 8 assists a game. And, he'll have rebound games, but, and you'll be like, man, this guy's a catalyst. And that probably means the Warriors win 65 games.
Oh
So
yeah, for
if,
sure.
if all that happens, he's clearly the MVP. I believe in the fact that Curry can turn it on one last time and just win one more, just to not cap off a career, but to add to a career that has
Yeah,
been full of accomplishments, both individual and as a team. I think you get a little lost with the Warrior style of basketball and forget that, Curry can
they're
really do,
nasty.
Curry,
They
Curry,
are nasty.
Curry, he can really do it by himself. And
Yeah.
I think he really does win MVP this year. I'm not just saying that like
Yeah.
my Sexton pick. I really
It's
believe, but I'm really behind this one. Like really.
the odds are probably a long shot to win, but I could totally see him winning. The only thing I would say could possibly hold him back is there's too many guys over there. Like, Curry's gonna be giving his boys, what they want.
Yeah.
Giving a Poole a game here, Clay a game there. I mean, Curry does everything. If he wants to take it into his own hands, I could see him doing that. But
Yeah. That was kind of my
we'll see.
basis. That was my hope
Yeah,
with that
and
pick
I
for
think
sure.
I think that's a great prediction. We're doing predictions here. Might as well take a little bit of a shot. Along 3 as Curry will
Curry
usually do.
takes as I need to see from Curry. Awesome, man. Well, this should be a great NBA season. I know
Yeah.
it's a great time filler, especially during the week. I'm not the biggest basketball guy in the world, but I do like watching Trae Young go ice Trae on everybody. And I like watching Curry and these guys play. So it should be enjoyable. There'll be plenty to talk about as the season goes. And I think we laid down some great picks. So
Yeah,
hopefully
I hope
that's what I always
I
think.
guess we'll come back to it. We'll remember this episode 6, the
We definitely will.
predictions.
Definitely will. Well, let's move on to, I guess, what you would call our expertise. We're gonna go college football, and then we're gonna go NFL, and we'll
Well,
drill some baseball here at the end. So let's get
yeah,
started with this Saturday, week 8 in college football. It's a little bit tougher to get fired up for this week. My team
a little
Georgia's on
bit.
a bye, but not only that, there's just not necessarily the marquee matchups that you saw last week, like with Tennessee, Bama. But that being said, sometimes these weeks come
Yeah,
out
it
of nowhere and
was.
become like,
You're right.
holy cow, this is one of the best week of games I've seen. So I'm so hopeful for what we have in front of us. And I guess I'll go ahead and get started with a noon kick. It's probably my favorite game of the week, even though it's not an SEC game. We got Syracuse traveling to Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina, for an undefeated. I
I
said
know.
unexpected.
One of the two, two of
Some
the 9 teams.
Somebody, and like you've always said all year, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose.
Yeah,
The problem here is you're looking at a Syracuse team who will be outmanned up front, out wide in the special teams
absolutely.
game. And like I said, I love the story of the underdog, but I'm going to ride with my boy JK here and say Clemson covers the 13.5. I don't know that it's necessarily going to be one of those they win by 28 and
Yeah,
cover. It's probably going to be more one of those they score at the end, not a garbage time, but just in the fourth
potential.
quarter
Yeah,
to win by 14 points and cover that half a point to cover the spread. I'd like to see Sean Tucker get going a little bit for Syracuse, but like I said, I think the big guys up front for the Tigers, Breezy, KJ Henry,
oh
the other
yeah,
guys on defense, you've got some dudes, and I'd love to see DJ, the big guy. I'm not even going to try to botch his last name. Have a stat pattern,
Ngalale.
have a stat pattern game. Throw a couple of touchdowns, maybe run one or two in, and have a lot of yards in the air. That's what I'd like
All
to
right,
see.
the thing is, I feel like you need to pump the brakes a little bit on like DJ stat padding. Like, this is the top 15 matchup. Like,
Yeah,
I
but
think there should be.
Syracuse, so
I know, but I think there should be a little bit of respect there, a little bit. The
based
stat,
on what?
the stat padding comment is just like,
Okay,
I
so
mean,
so
they're not playing Boston College. Like,
do you agree though that Clemson covers? Okay.
I can't give an answer on if they're going to cover or not. I don't know that. But I'll go ahead and say, for my part, while I'm back home, this is definitely going to be the game I'm, watching at the noon slot, the top 15 ACC matchup, something the conference should be excited for. And I got to say, another big test for Clemson. It seems like every week there's, another test for them, whether it be a,
Yeah.
primetime game, a ranked matchup. And they definitely have a little bit more coming down the road. But I'll stick with you. Yeah, I definitely think Clemson's going to win. And yeah, I don't know about the cover, but Clemson should win.
Clemson in
I
this
just
one.
think it's going to be a little closer. Where is this game? Is it in
It's in Clemson.
Syracuse?
It's in
It's in
Clemson.
Clemson. Okay.
Yeah, Clemson's gonna win this game by 14 or more. That's just there's just
Okay, if that's what you think,
I mean that's what's
I'm
gonna
all in,
happen.
dude. I'm all in on Clemson too. Like, this is another test. I think they're going to answer, but
I don't know if I'm all in on them as much as I'm all in on them over Syracuse. Like
yeah, I know I feel you, but
this is
like
where
there's a reason only 9 teams are undefeated still,
hey,
and
to those who are listening,
Syracuse.
hammer Syracuse because here's where I look like just a total dumbass on the show.
Idiot.
So,
All right, let's
um,
get to the next game now.
all right, cool. I'll give a little preview. This is a fun one. Mississippi State travels to Bama. This game had a little bit more on it before Mississippi State went and laid an egg in Lexington last week and lost to Kentucky. I was really starting to not necessarily buy in on Mississippi State as an SEC contender because you still have to get through Ole Miss and
Yeah.
Bama and went out and that. You know what? Anything could happen in that division, but I wasn't really bought in on them playoff New Year Six wise. But I was bought in on them. Hey, maybe they get Bama a little bit of a test. That being said, as the weeks went on, Bama loses to Tennessee. I have written down here revenge. I mean, this is just has revenge written all over it. Mississippi State has given them some problems in the past, but I don't think this week, after a loss to Tennessee, a school record and penalties, you're seeing, the Burton news of him hitting a girl coming off the field.
Yeah.
I mean, I expect to see a very, very tight Bama team and a very, very dominant performance out of the Crimson Tide. I could be wrong here, but the spread's sitting at 21. It's hard to say any SEC team beats another SEC team by 21 or more, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Bama covers 21, and this could get ugly early.
Yeah, it could, but I mean, I've got nothing really here, written down, but
You agree
I'll
with Bama?
just
Bama.
yeah, but dude, I've got to pump the brakes a little bit again, dude. I think Bama just struggled mightily against the pass, and
That's all
you know,
Mississippi State does.
while
True.
Mississippi State does not have the quarterback or the wide receivers that Tennessee has, I think they air the ball out a lot. I don't know how good Bama's secondary really is now after giving up 52
True.
points.
Good
That's a
point.
lot of points. I think Will Rogers will be slinging it this game. I've got Bama to win, but that line just seems like it's very
Yeah, like I said,
large.
for an SEC game, that
I
is.
don't. Yeah. So I mean, I guess I'll go Bama here, of
Okay,
course, but
cool.
I think maybe don't like just pump the brakes a little.
Okay, I mean, yeah, but at some point, like, dude, it's Clemson playing Syracuse and it's Alabama playing Mississippi State. If I'd have told
Yeah,
you
there's
both of those
levels.
games,
There's
like,
levels.
but if I'd have told you both those games preseason, you'd agree with me like
Yeah,
entirely. So,
yeah, yeah.
but we'll see. We'll see. Saturday, humility's a week away. So,
You're right.
Bama, you're up. Mississippi State, you're up. Show up. We'll see what happens. All right, TJ, man,
All right.
I know you like these Pac-12, Big 12 matchups. So do
I
your
know.
thing, bro.
So I'll just say game day is headed to Eugene this week. And it's what it probably hands down the best game, I think, this Saturday. Got number 9
Yeah,
UCLA playing number 10 Oregon. I think it's the only top 10 matchup. Um, Oregon has rebounded so nicely since getting just washed out of Atlanta in week 1 by the Dogs. And they've won 5 straight. On the other than number 12 BYU at the time though, so BYU was number 12 when Oregon beat them.
true. Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
really have any other notable wins.
Yep.
And as for UCLA, they're rolling into this one 6-0 with huge back-to-back wins against then ranked Washington and then Utah. They did just come off a bye though, um, so that's not really back-to-back 3 weeks ago. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But I'll go and say I think the most intriguing thing about this game is each team's college football playoff chances, right? So you have to think if UCLA loses to Oregon, it's over for any Pac-12 team trying to get in. I highly doubt any one-loss team from the Pac-12 is going to get in over any
It's
SEC
true.
Big Ten team,
Yeah.
one-loss team,
With the
and
state of
then
everything right now.
and
Yeah.
then Oregon they've just lost by too much of a margin to Georgia. I think that holds them back. Do you agree
Yeah,
there?
I do. That's a great point.
Yeah, so I'll go and say, I mean, UCLA, if they went out and they're undefeated, that would be it. So UCLA would have to beat Oregon this week.
I mean,
Although I think the chances are very slim anyways, but
do you have a winner here or?
oh yeah, I'll say UCLA. They
Okay,
win.
well, I'm going with the
Behind
Ducks.
just behind good quarterback play. Their quarterback's better.
Okay. Well, I'm going with the Ducks. UCLA, the bye week stopped the train from rolling and they go into Eugene where they're about to get
Yeah.
lit up.
But I was doing some research on these teams, and they are very close in like points scored per game, and yards allowed per game,
And
passing yards allowed.
UCLA has played some better teams,
Yeah,
to your
yeah,
point. But I'll go Oregon. You'll go UCLA here.
yeah.
This is a tough one to pick.
I mean,
So
I think, dude. Also, like, man, I sometimes I don't really watch these games for like who's gonna win. You know what I mean? I'm
I
just
know,
watching
but
them to watch.
I know I was honestly just curious who you thought was gonna win.
Yeah,
But
because I don't really have a pick for this next game either. But I guess we'll go ahead and roll into that.
yeah, yeah,
So we've
let's
got
go.
Texas playing at Oklahoma State. This one's in Stillwater. Texas coming off a close win versus Iowa State. Iowa State's not very good,
Nope.
and Oklahoma State just coming off a big loss to the Big 12 leader in TCU. I think this game is so pivotal for the Big 12 standings and the outlook of the conference. Number 20 Texas is 3-1 in the Big 12, and then Oklahoma State is 2-1. So I mean, I just can't see Texas losing, here for whatever reason, even though it is in Stillwater. So I guess I do kind of have more of a pick here, going with Texas.
You're leaning Texas.
Yeah, just because Quinn Ewers, I think he's really good. Um, no,
I mean, I don't know enough about Oklahoma State to be honest.
yeah, and
I want to know more about them, but for whatever reason, they're always that team that like I
yeah,
just can't watch. Like not that I can't watch, but I just don't watch. But I don't know. Oh, that's a tough
it's
pick.
tough, man, because Oklahoma State just came off a loss, and then Texas is kind of starting to win again. So,
But Texas
but then
also
it's
look like they looked great 2 weeks ago, and
yeah,
now they don't look good.
and
And
then now
Oklahoma
it's
State lost. The way they
yeah.
lost is like in overtime. So it's
Yeah,
like
but Oklahoma State has looked way better, previously to that
correct.
loss. I think, and then it's in Stillwater now, so it's just really going back and forth.
And
I'll
it's
just
too
say
it's tough.
it's and I'll just say whoever loses this game, you could probably say has no shot at winning the Big 12.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Because that'll put Texas at 3 losses total, 2 losses in
yeah,
the Big 12. Okie State will get 2. So yeah, I guess
and
if you're leaning Texas, I'll agree with you. I can get
yeah,
behind that.
and then like TCU. only team that has no losses in the conference. So again, same thing with like the college football playoff hopes. It's looking slim for the Big 12, but if TCU happens to go undefeated, wins the Big 12
They'll
title game pretty convincingly, they should have, some buyers.
every right in the book to get in. Yeah, man, that's great
Yeah.
college football analysis right there. Even on a crappy week, we're
Yeah.
still bringing it for you guys. So let's
All
move
right.
on to, I guess, tonight, Sunday, Monday. Give us a
Yeah.
little whip around of what you're
Okay.
seeing this weekend.
So yeah, one of the bigger things I'm watching out for this Sunday is the Sunday night football matchup between the Steelers and Dolphins.
Sneaky good.
Dolphins look really good with Tua. They haven't had him with the past 2 weeks, and it seems like he's going to be back this week. The Steelers, on the other hand, coming off a very impressive win versus the Bucks, they have a great head coach. We know the pedigree of the Steelers. I kind of want to see if they can get back on the rails. Season's still young. The division that they're in isn't the best, so I think they can. I want to see what they're capable of doing. And then aside from that, we're at that point of the season where there's a lot of teams at 3-3. And I've got a list, like I said earlier, that must win. So the Colts, who are actually at they're 3-2-1, they're playing the Titans. I think they got to win. The Packers and the Bucks both playing very below average teams, and the Commanders and the Panthers. I think they both have to win. And then the must win this week is the Ravens. They're 3-3. They're playing the Browns. They have a special quarterback, and they really need to stop blowing leads because if they don't, he's going to walk. And then the Ravens are going to be nothing. So I would say
Really?
their must. Yeah, dude,
Okay.
he's going to walk, man.
That
If
does
they
no, that makes sense.
they
Yeah,
can't they
absolutely.
can't play crappy defense and not make the playoffs and expect him to stay. I wouldn't.
No,
They already don't
that's
have,
no,
yeah. So
that's a great point. I haven't even thought about it that way yet, but I
yeah,
like the way. Yeah, I like that.
that's what I've got this week.
What about hold on.
No, I see
Whoa.
it. I see it, man.
Okay.
Do
So
you want to?
I mean, okay. TJ's got something big for y'all, but I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and get
I mean,
mine.
not
But
that big. It's pretty
well,
big.
for you and a lot of
It's
people in
it's it's
America.
it's so weird to me just how big it is because we could
All
do
right. Well,
the
Dak's back. Go ahead. Dak's back. Go ahead.
like we could do the entire show. Like I come on here, get home from school, it's 2 o'clock, and they're talking about Dak.
Dak.
You know what I mean? So Dak is back, baby. This has me very excited. So we're both going home this weekend. And Dallas isn't on national TV, or like for our area, but I know I'm gonna go somewhere to watch them. I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna be tapped into them. The Cowboys with Prescott, their offense should look way better. They're playing the Lions. I mean, come on, man.
It is. I will say that is a very favorable matchup
It's
for Dak.
so favorable for him to come back. Like
You couldn't really
it's
ask
awesome.
for
Yeah.
anything better. But
Yeah.
okay, yeah, man.
Go
Well,
ahead here.
I'm excited for you because I think that takes the Cowboys to the level they need to be at. I like your analysis on all those games, man. That's great. I see a game though. I spy a game with a weird betting line, and I had a
No,
lot.
I saw this too. I saw this
I
too.
had a
It's
long me and my our other roommate Jack were talking a little smoke to our buddy Mikey, who's a big Giants fan. He's been on the show, and
these Jags.
they are 3-point road underdogs to the 2-4 Jags. Well, sometimes you're like, oh, that really doesn't make sense. Well, you know what that tells me? I'm going with the Jags this week to cover
Cover.
minus
Okay.
three. To cover -3. So I'm saying they're going to win. They're going to beat Giants this Sunday. That's really kind of a spite pick. Mikey kind of made me take it, but I put a little bit of money behind it personally just because
Yeah.
because I had to put my money where my mouth was. I
That's
do
all
think
right.
I think the Jags win this game. I don't have great reason for you other than the fact that the line is so, kind of
It's
weird.
fishy. Fishy. It's a fishy line.
So I'm going
Anything
Jags.
else?
I'm
Anything
going
else here for this Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going Jags, and then I'll go we got Niners Chiefs, dude. That's a
I
Super
know, dude.
Bowl.
I was
That
gonna mention that
that's
because the 49ers are 3-3 and the Chiefs are 4-2. If the Chiefs lose that game and the 49ers win, the Chiefs are 4-3, and that's not the best, but
that's the
and
thing
then
about
the
the that's the thing
49ers
about
are
the
4-3.
NFL, man.
Yeah,
Is that every week changes how you view a team.
although I don't think the 49ers are gonna win. So
No, they couldn't.
that's
They could. Do they? What I wrote? Do they come back from a tough loss? I do not think so. you're running into a team you literally don't want to run into after you just played your worst game
Yeah.
of the year, which was against the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons are a great team, but they're not Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I have the Chiefs in this one. The 4-2 Jets go on the road at Denver. Honestly, I have a hard time looking at like this is a tough game to read, to be honest, just because it's in Denver. And I don't know if the Jets are a legitimate 4-2 team, but this is going to be a great game to watch. You'll see apparently Russ is Wolverine with his hamstring. I don't know. He may or may not play. I'm not sure. But this should be
Also,
a fun
yeah.
game. This should be a fun game.
So
Um,
Bears Pats Monday night. What do we have about that? Nothing. All right.
yeah,
So
that's it.
what do we have
That's
for?
all. Yeah, that's all we got.
So what do we have? What about the Thursday night game that's
Um,
about to kick off in less than an hour?
we got Saints cards. I got a couple of props in play tonight. Should be a fun night. But Andy Dalton is 0-11 on the road in prime time. That expands to 0-12. The Cardinals win tonight. Hopefully, we get a better game for our sake, the listeners' sake, America's sake. Like these
Yeah.
games have sucked, man. So
Yeah, we need a better one. I think this one will provide. I think Kyler is, a lot better than the quarterbacks that have played previously. So
it just feels like we're due for a good Thursday game.
we
So
are due. And at the Saints are one of those teams, man. They always, stick in it. So
yeah, absolutely. I would know, right? So
all right.
also real quick, Falcons Bengals. Falcons win, they go to 4-3. So
All right. And if the
above
Bengals
500.
the Bengals win, they'll go to 4-3
I
as
don't really
well.
care what the Bengals record is if
Well,
they
I
win.
know, but I'm just, saying for the viewers that we may potentially have.
Dude, that's
All right.
like our first. It's been a while. So all
All
right,
right.
well
So
let's run baseball real quick because
yeah,
we
I'll
need to
go
get it
real.
off our chest. Yeah.
So ALCS game one is in the books. This series could potentially be over before we're even on air next, time.
Very
So
possible before
the
Tuesday. Yeah.
Astros out homered the Yankees 4-1 in game one.
Mm-hmm.
Like just home run wise, and it's pretty simple. If that happens every game, this is going to be a very short
Mm-hmm.
series. The Yankees aren't going to be on the happy end of it. Also, Verlander strikes out 11 guys, and the Yankees hitters, as a whole, strike out 17 times in the game. That's way too much, man. I mean, what's like the number one rule of baseball? You got to put the ball in play. Like 17, that's 17 free outs. If Houston continues to get contributions from Chas McCormick and Yuli Gurriel, I mean,
I mean, yeah.
they're gonna walk themselves to a World Series title. And my prop to pop this week, I'm 2-0, right? If you want to make money, you have to listen to this. It's so easy. It's
Go
so
ahead.
free, man. Ezekiel Elliott over
A half a touchdown.
half a rushing touchdown. I mean, the Lions have a horrible rush defense, and the Cowboys' offensive line has been so good. They've been getting such good push. I mean, the formula, it just equals. It equals one thing. Elliott's going to have a huge game. I assume there's going to be a touchdown in there. And so I guess I got like 20 seconds left
Yeah, you good?
before I
Go
guess
ahead.
you take it. Just another baseball note. I can't believe I just continue to go back to it. Nolan Arenado has won 9 straight Gold Gloves. He's only played 9 seasons. He's on the fringe of his 10th. I think this is remarkable because this is like unprecedented. Like the most Gold Gloves ever is like 16. I think he hits that. I think he actually gets over that. But most of the best defenders ever have like 10 to 12. He's gonna smash that. He is once in a generation. Nolan
Yeah.
Arenado.
It's too bad he's the second best third baseman in the NL. But let's continue.
Possibly.
NLCS behind Austin Riley. NLCS, it's headed back to Philadelphia at a 1-1 tie. I don't really know what I expect out of the series. This could end up really being one of the better series we see, like
Yeah.
literally in playoff baseball that me and you have seen in our lifetime, just because
Great atmosphere.
I think the teams are very evenly matched, and they're both playing with a chip on their shoulder, a lot of swag, a lot of confidence right now. This will be a fun one to keep track of. Does Philly get cold? Does San Diego get cold? I think the winner of this series, or better yet, the loser, is a team that gets cold first. The team that stays hot will win. My prop is Will Lutz over 1.5 field goals.
Over one
I
and a
think
half.
he bangs it. I think the Saints stall out a little bit tonight in the red zone or scoring situations. The over bangs, and we're locked
That's
out,
the
baby.
show.
Yeah, that's it right there, baby. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
you guys
great.
always.
Continue to listen. We're going to continue to hammer out the content.
We're going to continue to bring them. So thanks, guys. We appreciate y'all and have a good weekend. Let's enjoy some sports and
Yeah.
enjoy the equinox tonight. Let's go.
Yeah.